Have you ever felt like there's something women just aren't telling you? Some unspoken truth hiding beneath their smiles, their words, even their silence? Well, today we're uncovering the secrets, the ones buried so deep, most women don't even realize they're keeping them. And we're not guessing, we're turning to the wisdom of Carl Jung, the legendary psychologist who mapped the hidden corners of the human mind. These aren't just random observations. These are 5 powerful, subconscious truths that shape how single women think, act, and love. And once you understand them, you'll never see dating the same way again. Let's talk about the first big secret single women often keep hidden, the reality that they're far more independent than they let on. At first glance, many women might seem like they want or even need a man to complete them, but beneath the surface, there's often a fierce self-sufficiency driving their choices. Carl Jung referred to this as the animus, the inner masculine energy within a woman that fuels her ambition, strategic thinking, and ability to stand on her own. This isn't about rejecting femininity, it's about balance. A woman's animus gives her the strength to navigate the world with confidence, even if she doesn't always broadcast it. So why do so many women downplay this independence? Society has long conditioned women to fit into certain molds, to be nurturing, agreeable, and accommodating. There's an unspoken fear that if a woman appears too capable or self-reliant, she might intimidate potential partners or disrupt traditional dynamics. As a result, she might soften her edges in early interactions, allowing a man to feel needed even if she's perfectly fine on her own. But make no mistake, this isn't deception. It's adaptation. Have you ever experienced this? You meet a woman who seems gentle, even delicate at first, but over time, you discover she's a powerhouse, someone who makes decisions with precision, handles challenges without flinching, and has a quiet resilience that commands respect. That's the animus in action. It's not that she was pretending to be someone else. She was simply revealing different layers of herself as she felt safe to do so. The lesson here? Never mistake a woman's warmth for weakness. The most feminine women can also be the most formidable. They just choose when and where to show it. This duality is something men should not only recognize but appreciate. A woman's independence doesn't diminish a man's role in her life, it enhances it. When a man understands that she doesn't need him but chooses him, it shifts the entire dynamic. It's no longer about filling a void but about building something meaningful together. So the next time you encounter a woman who seems effortlessly strong yet beautifully soft, remember, that's not a contradiction. That's complexity. And that's exactly what makes her so fascinating. Let's dive into the second secret that many single women carry silently, the lingering impact of past hurt and how it shapes their present. At first glance, you might meet a woman who appears confident, self-assured, and completely put together. But beneath that composed exterior often lies a history of emotional wounds that have left her guarded in ways she may not even fully acknowledge. Carl Jung called this hidden part of ourselves the shadow, the subconscious reservoir of our pain, fears, and vulnerabilities that we don't always show the world. When a woman has been hurt before, whether by betrayal, abandonment, or emotional neglect, her trust doesn't come easily. She won't always verbalize her hesitation, but you'll sense it in subtle ways. She might take things slower than expected, keeping a careful distance until she feels certain of your intentions. She might play hard to get, not as a game but as a way to gauge your sincerity. Or she might seem mysterious, revealing only fragments of herself at a time, not because she's being evasive, but because she's learned that not everyone deserves the full story. Here's the crucial thing to understand. Her guardedness isn't about you. It's about the ghosts of her past, the time she opened up too quickly only to regret it, the moments she believed in someone who later let her down. Those experiences don't just fade away, they become part of her emotional blueprint, shaping how she navigates new connections. But that doesn't mean her walls are impenetrable. In fact, the right approach, patience, consistency, and genuine effort can help her feel safe enough to lower them. What many men misunderstand is that a guarded woman isn't trying to make things difficult. She's protecting herself, and that's not only reasonable but necessary. The key is to recognize that her hesitation isn't rejection, it's a test of your character. Can you handle her complexity? Can you respect her pace without pressuring her? If you can, you'll find that the woman who was once guarded can become the most loyal and deeply loving partner. Because when she finally trusts you, it won't be out of naivety, it'll be a choice, and that's far more powerful. Let's explore this third secret that lives in the subconscious of many single women, the often misunderstood desire for true leadership rather than just provision. There's a common misconception that what women truly want is financial stability above all else. But Jung's work reveals something far more nuanced. Through his exploration of archetypes, we discover that women are instinctively drawn to what he called the king energy, a quality that encompasses much more than material security. This archetype represents a man who possesses not just resources, but resolution, not just income, but integrity, not just possessions, but purpose. What makes this particularly fascinating is the contrast between what women might consciously say they want and what their unconscious actually responds to. Many women will verbally express desire for a nice guy, someone kind, attentive, and agreeable. Yet time and again, we see them inexplicably drawn to men who demonstrate stronger leadership qualities. This isn't about superficial traits or bad behavior, but rather about fundamental masculine qualities that speak to a woman's deeper psychological needs. She's subconsciously evaluating. When life gets difficult, can he maintain his composure? When values are tested, does he stand firm? When challenged, does he respond with confidence rather than insecurity? This explains the perennial attraction to so-called bad boys, a phenomenon often misunderstood. It's not their meanness or unreliability that appeals, but rather their unpredictable nature which activates a woman's animus, that inner masculine aspect of her psyche that wants to engage, solve, and understand. The challenge with such men, of course, is that while they may initially trigger attraction, they typically lack the emotional maturity and stability that sustains long-term connection. The truly compelling man combines that spark of challenge with the substance of character. He's someone who can lead not through domination, but through quiet assurance, not through control, but through clarity of vision. What this means for men is profoundly important. Being a good provider is valuable, but it's only part of the equation. The deeper question is, what kind of man are you when the money, the status symbols, and the external validations are stripped away? Can you make decisions with conviction? Can you handle adversity with grace? Can you maintain your center when life becomes chaotic? These are the qualities that resonate with a woman at a soul level, because they speak to her innate desire for partnership with someone who can navigate life's complexities while allowing her to relax into her feminine energy. The modern dating landscape often confuses this principle, with many men believing they must either be the ultra-nice pushover or the emotionally detached player. The truth lies in the balance. The ability to be both strong and kind, both decisive and compassionate, both ambitious and present. This is the authentic masculine energy that doesn't just attract women initially, but earns their lasting respect and devotion. When a woman encounters this quality in a man, she doesn't have to question his capability or wonder if he'll falter when life gets hard. She knows instinctively that she's found someone who can walk beside her as an equal partner while providing the stability and direction that allows her to thrive. Ultimately, this secret reveals that what women crave isn't control or dominance, but rather the security that comes from knowing they're with someone who can be trusted to lead when leadership is required. It's about finding a man who doesn't need to prove his strength because it's evident in his actions, who doesn't demand respect but naturally commands it, who understands that true leadership means serving the relationship rather than serving his own ego. This is the kind of masculine energy that doesn't just win a woman's attention, but her deepest admiration and trust. The fourth secret reveals a profound truth about feminine psychology that often gets oversimplified: the depth and complexity of a woman's emotional world. While society frequently dismisses women as simply emotional, Jung's framework shows us this is far more than just mood swings or irrational feelings. Women possess a remarkable connection to their unconscious mind, an intuitive ability to process emotions on multiple levels simultaneously. This creates an emotional landscape that isn't linear or straightforward, but rich, nuanced, and sometimes contradictory. What many men mistake for unpredictability is actually a different way of experiencing and processing emotions. A woman might appear happy in one moment and withdrawn the next, not because she's being difficult, but because she's navigating layers of feeling that extend beyond the immediate situation. Her emotions often contain echoes of past experiences, intuitive warnings about the future, and subtle perceptions about the relationship dynamics at play. This explains why she may not always be able to immediately articulate why she feels a certain way. She's often working through multiple emotional threads that haven't yet formed into clear thoughts. This emotional complexity serves an important purpose. It allows women to pick up on undercurrents in relationships that might escape logical analysis. The slight shift in energy when something's wrong, the unspoken tension in a room, or the intuitive sense that a situation isn't what it appears to be. While men tend to process emotions more sequentially, feeling one primary emotion at a time, women often experience emotions as a symphony, with multiple notes playing simultaneously that create a more complex emotional composition. The challenge arises when this natural emotional depth is misunderstood. A man might grow frustrated when his partner can't immediately explain why she's upset, not realizing she's still unraveling the threads of her feelings. This is where emotional intelligence becomes crucial. Rather than demanding immediate explanations, "Why are you upset?" creating space for her to explore her feelings, "What's coming up for you right now?" allows her emotional processing to unfold naturally. This approach acknowledges that her emotions aren't problems to be solved, but important information to be understood. What's fascinating is how this emotional complexity interacts with the masculine psyche. Jung's concept of the anima, the inner feminine aspect of a man, is instinctively drawn to this depth in women, even if consciously it may feel confusing. This explains why men often find emotionally complex women so compelling, even when they struggle to understand them. There's a soul-level recognition that this emotional richness contains wisdom that complements and completes the masculine way of being. Ultimately, this secret invites us to move beyond simplistic labels and appreciate feminine emotionality as the sophisticated system it truly is. When a man learns to navigate this terrain with patience and respect, he discovers that what initially seemed like irrationality is actually a different kind of intelligence, one that perceives what logic alone cannot see. Rather than trying to reduce her emotions to simple causes and solutions, the wise partner understands that sometimes the most powerful thing he can do is simply hold space while she does the deep emotional work that comes so naturally to her. The fifth and perhaps most poignant secret reveals a fundamental tension in the modern woman's heart, the simultaneous longing for deep connection and terror of losing herself in it. This paradox stems from what Jung identified as the mother complex, where early experiences of being smothered or controlled, often by overbearing maternal figures, create an unconscious fear of relational entrapment. Many women today carry this psychological imprint. They yearn for love's warmth but panic at the thought of its potential constraints, creating a push-pull dynamic that baffles their partners. You'll recognize this fear in subtle but telling behaviors. She might resist defining the relationship even as it grows more intimate, not because she's playing games, but because labels feel like invisible shackles. She may suddenly need space after periods of closeness, not due to fading interest, but because she's checking that she can still breathe freely within the relationship. In more extreme cases, she might unconsciously sabotage promising connections when they reach serious milestones, not from a place of malice, but from a primal alarm system warning her autonomy is under threat. What's crucial to understand is that this isn't about commitment phobia in the traditional sense. The modern woman isn't afraid of commitment itself, she's petrified of the wrong kind of commitment. She's witnessed generations of women before her lose themselves in lifeless marriages, sacrificing dreams and identities at the altar of relationship maintenance. Her resistance springs not from immaturity, but from an awakened consciousness that refuses to repeat those patterns. She'd rather stand alone than be bound to a partnership that diminishes her. The solution lies in reimagining commitment itself. When a woman feels chosen rather than claimed, when she experiences the relationship as an expansion of her freedom rather than its limitation, her defenses soften. She needs to feel that her individuality isn't just tolerated but celebrated, that her partner sees their union as a launching pad for her growth rather than a cage for her spirit. This requires a man secure enough to love without clutching, to commit without confining, to bond without binding. Ultimately, this secret reveals a profound evolution in feminine psychology. The contemporary woman's relationship with commitment reflects not a rejection of love, but a raising of standards. She's no longer willing to trade autonomy for security, nor individuality for togetherness. The relationships that ultimately capture her heart are those that understand this, offering both the anchor of devotion and the wings of freedom, proving through daily actions that true love doesn't trap, but rather liberates her to become her fullest self. As we come to the end of this exploration, I want to leave you with a powerful realization. Understanding women isn't about cracking some secret code or manipulating emotions. It's about recognizing the beautiful complexity of the feminine psyche through the wisdom of Carl Jung. These 5 secrets we've uncovered today aren't tricks or games. They're windows into the deeper layers of how women experience love, fear, desire, and connection in today's world. What makes this knowledge truly transformative is how you choose to apply it. This isn't about using psychological insights to get a woman, but to truly see her, to appreciate why she might hold back her independence, why past hurts make her cautious, why she responds to authentic leadership, why her emotions run so deep, and why commitment terrifies her even as she craves it. When you approach relationships with this understanding, you stop taking things personally and start connecting meaningfully. I'm genuinely curious, which of these secrets resonated with you the most? Was it the revelation about hidden independence? The way past wounds shape present behavior? The truth about what women really want in a partner? The depth of feminine emotionality? Or the modern woman's fear of losing herself in love? Drop a comment below and let's continue this conversation. Your perspective could help others see these dynamics in a new light. If this video gave you valuable insights that could improve your relationships, do me a favor, hit that like button to help others discover this content. Subscribe if you haven't already for more psychology-based relationship wisdom, and share this with a friend who might be struggling to understand the women in his life. Remember, the most fulfilling relationships are built on mutual understanding, and that starts with being willing to see beyond surface behaviors to the profound human needs underneath. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the feminine psyche. Keep growing, keep learning, and most importantly, keep approaching relationships with curiosity rather than assumptions. I'll see you in the next video where we'll dive even deeper into how psychology can transform your love life. Until then, stay mindful, stay open, and keep becoming the kind of partner who brings out the best in others simply by understanding them better. Take care.